Welcome, everybody, to Who's Your Band. I am Jeffrey Paul. I'm joined by Sean Morton. How are you, Sean?
Fantabulous. How are you, Jeffrey?
I'm good on this rainy Monday, championship Monday, big basketball game going on a little bit later tonight. But before we do that, before we talk about anything, let's bring our guest in. He's been on the show before. He's a comedian. He's an actor. He is easily one of my favorite guests on this show. Otherwise, we wouldn't keep having him on. Mr. Dave Juskow. How are you, Dave?
Hello, everybody. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure, man. I'm looking forward to this. So we always talk about, like clips and bad 70s and 80s, music and nostalgia. But there is a genre that is just so cringe. I mean, the last time we were on, we were talking dance crazes. Okay. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to start talking novelty hits. Okay. But like not the ones that you would think that jump out at you. Okay. Some of the ones that kind of flew underneath the radar that are just like, oh my God. All right. So I'll give you an example. The first one we're going to do. Adam, before you roll it, do you guys remember the Rick Dees hit, Disco Duck?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. Did you know that there was a sequel to that song?
Yes.
What was the sequel called, Sean?
I do not know, but I do know there was a sequel.
Dave, do you know that there was a sequel?
I think I only know, and I think it has something to do with dinosaurs. And does it?
No.
No. Oh, no. I only know about the sequel because it's in that Bee Gees documentary.
Well, he had a song.
It's credited with ruining disco, from what I'm told.
Well, this will ruin music, all right? And This one was called Disco Rilla.
Oh, Disco Rilla. Okay, I was close with the dinosaur, I guess.
Disco Rilla.
I'm thinking of God's Rilla, right?
So we're going to watch a clip of it. You may know the people who are introducing the song. Adam, can you play it, please? And just be ready to pause.
Hey, how about you guys helping me introduce Rick Dees? Okay.
Hold it up right away.
Freed the ducks. Mr. Disco himself.
The guy who taught gorillas
Adam,
to dance?
Sean, do you know who these people are?
Oh, let me tell you something. Not only do I know who those people are, not only did I watch this show all the time, I went to Chiller Theater about 5 or 6 years ago, which is the big horror convention. And one of the big things for the autograph section was it was the first reunion of the three that were still living, which I guess was Raj, D, and Dwayne. And people were literally running, surrounding them, screaming, "No Roger, no rerun, no rent. No Roger, no rerun, no rent." For an hour, these people were like losing their shit. Such a great show.
Look up Rogers. Dave, do you know what Dee is doing now?
She's a veterinarian.
She is a veterinarian, but she was sassy. She
was sassy, and she grew up kind of sexy, actually. And I only know this because I met Raj back in the 80s, and he told me when they were doing What's Happening Now that he was actually a little attracted to her, which was awkward.
I ran into her, and it may have been her going to Chiller Theater, and because my wife's a veterinarian, and so she'll go to these conferences as well, and she may have been a speaker or something there. But she, it's amazing. She grew up really pretty.
Yeah, when they did What's Happening Now, she would be on a few episodes because she wanted to study and keep her studies going, which was so smart. So get this, I teach at a university in Jersey at Montclair State, and I've been teaching this class called The End of Network Television. So I made the kids watch the Doobie Brothers episode with this, and because I was trying to explain, these kind of shows. And they thought Dee was the greatest actress they've ever seen in their life because
not when she makes this introduction, she's not.
Well, it's just that there's nothing, maybe not here, but you and I and Sean, we all know you can't teach what she was doing on that show. It's just give me a quarter.
She was a true character, like a true
like JJ on Good Times. You know,
Exactly.
like you can't teach that kind of acting. It's just you are that person. That's why they never worked again. You know, you either like them or you don't like what they're doing.
That's
Was
true.
what happened filmed in front of a live audience, or was that a laugh track?
I don't know. I know that the Doobie Brothers one was definitely not in front of a live audience because it was just weird. But I mean, it was
weird. Do you remember
like
the big joke line out of that
episode?
Yes.
Well, I remember the last line, which is, I'm going to jail for a long time, and all I got to show for it is a fat kid eating popcorn. But if that's what you meant.
I think Rerun, you know, when they're introducing themselves, and Rerun goes, "Which doobie you be?"
Yeah, and actually, I think Raj said, only because I watched this recently. I always thought it was Rerun too, but I think it's Raj on the phone with their management.
No, they were in the coffee shop because they must have only had like 2 sets. There was Mama's house and there was the coffee shop where Shirley Hempel worked, and the Doobie Brothers just happened to go to that coffee shop.
Well, no, they went to they were playing at their school. Apparently, they all attended that high school. And they were playing the school, so they first saw them there at the school, and then they went to the coffee shop to take down Al Dunbar.
Oh, was that the concert promoter?
Yes. Well, the fake one, the one who was stealing their stuff, who was bootlegging.
That's right, which was a big thing. All right, Adam, can we show this?
Sorry.
No. Play it.
There it is.
Gorillas, ducks, it ain't even safe to go dancing anymore.
It is with this guy around.
Terrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Disco,
Rick Dees.
We're in the front of local food. Does this sound familiar to you guys? Adam, put it on pause for a second. Does this song sound familiar to you guys?
No.
Let the chorus play and then stop it real quick, Adam. Let's. Oh, embarrassing. Oh my God. It's exactly Disco Duck.
Yeah.
So here's what I'd like to do, Jeffrey. I am going to take a chance on this. I am going to make a phone call tomorrow and withdraw every dollar out of my 401k. And what I like to do is take every single dollar that I have, and I want you to reenact Disco Rilla. We're going to reshoot it. It's 2025. They need a new version. I want the exact audio. I want the exact music. I want the exact outfits. I want a mustache. I want everything. I want you to be the star of it. This is the kind of faith that I have in you. I want
if Dave Juskow agrees to direct it, I'll do it.
I'm in.
That was horrible. Holy shit.
I'm pretty sure this is the one between Disco Duck and this, and that incredible Bee Gees documentary that came out about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was good.
This gay DJ was talking about how disco started in the gay clubs and all that stuff, and how the music was good and fun, and then this Rick Dees is technically responsible for ruining disco, let alone what they did in Chicago at that Wrigley Field thing. But yeah, these kind of songs, the DJ is saying ruined the fun and the magic of what was disco, especially for the gay community.
Do you remember like Disco Duck? It was in the movie Saturday Night Fever. Did it make the soundtrack?
No.
They're definitely not on the soundtrack because that soundtrack is awesome, and I've listened to it 100 times. So one of the few soundtracks I'll listen to the full album still to this day. But is it in the movie? Or, because I know it's in one of the other ones, but that's if it's in that.
Oh, it's not in Staying Alive, Dave.
No, I know that, but
Have you ever seen Staying Alive?
It feels like it isn't, but how could that be? Because the disco sensation, I mean, was it happening at 76 when they were filming the movie? Or
this is the question. I wonder if you talk about this in your class. Does art imitate life, or does life imitate art?
Well, I think it's both, and I think what happened was that Saturday Night Fever was a call to what's happening in these clubs. I don't think they called it disco. It's based on that New York Magazine article on what happened in those clubs back in the 70s.
Adam, can you put that back up?
Yeah, that's right. That guy that was up to 70%, that guy that was teaching disco to the older people. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Featured a deleted scene added to the PG rated version. That's so funny because it was rated R, and then it became so popular they cut out all the rape scenes. They made a PG version.
So that scene when he goes in, he goes, "How you doing?" He goes, "What? I'm at 70% of what?"
Yeah.
Right? That was an added scene.
I guess so. I don't know. Well, probably they took out that part, but I think that's what they were dancing to, because you wouldn't see John Travolta dancing to that song.
No, he was.
It's surprising that it came out so quickly, because, like I said, they were just getting Saturday Night Fever got the disco, trend to its fullest potential. So for that song to be already out and popular in '77. That's incredible, actually.
Adam is telling us that Disco Duck made an appearance in the film Saturday Night Fever in a dance club scene in which a group of students were learning to dance
You just
disco
said that.
style. It was also featured in a deleted scene. Wow. All right.
Wait, did he not? We just said that, though.
I know. I'm reading. I'm reading.
We just read it. It's on the private chat.
Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go watch Disco Rilla again.
But what were you doing that, like? What kind of wormhole were you going down that led you to this song?
Well, I knew I wanted to do novelty songs. And I was like, well, the Al Yankovic stuff is going to be way too obvious. So it was like, so what else, would be a novelty song? And the Disco Duck. I didn't even know that there was anything called Disco Rilla. So when you look at Disco Duck and Rick Days, you start finding other stuff. And when I saw Disco Rilla, I was like, I've never seen this before.
It's not even funny. It's like just so sad and disappointing. Everything about that Brady Bunch Variety Hour is not as fun as you'd like it to be. It's really a bummer because you and I obviously both love this kind of stuff, but this is depressing. This isn't even like fun to make fun of. Am I wrong?
No, it is fun to make fun of,
but it's just not good enough. It's like not. It's like it's just sad. It's not. You're thinking of Rick Dees trying so hard to make another to make a splash, and you get lucky with this Disco Duck, and then trying and somehow getting it on TV. A DJ, like it said something. I mean, that guy was really popular.
No, catapulted. He was Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah. He was Ryan Seacrest of his day, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just how something like this can get greenlit, or just like.
But it makes sense it would get greenlit because it's a sequel to Disco Duck. So of course you're always going to get that second chance, and that's why he was probably never heard of again. Except he was smart, like Ryan Seacrest, and had other ideas, just spinning other people's records instead of doing his own, I guess. But if this had been a hit, it would have been interesting to see what the rest of his career would have been. He obviously doesn't sing.
Well, speaking of careers, okay, this next one had an interesting career arc. I know you would know who this is. I'm not 100% Sean does. Sean, have you ever heard of Dickie Goodman?
I've heard the name, but I don't know who it is.
Okay, so Dickie Goodman had this hilarious way of putting out a song. He came up with the idea of like you would cut songs, like you would ask questions, you have like a scenario, and then you would put songs of the modern day to answer the questions. So his big hit was Mr. Jaws. Do you remember that?
Well, his first hit was Energy Crisis 74.
Well, that's what we're going to look at.
Because when we saw each other last week, I was actually doing it for you. I remember it so well.
You did. And then I went back and watched it. I was like,
I remember we are here at the White House for a special report on the energy crisis. I mean, I remember so much of it. And so the Mr. Jaws was the follow-up. And then just like Rick Dees, if Mr. Jaws was Rick Dees' follow-up, it would have been the second one was better. But he had, and then he had the third one. We had a couple after that, but
what's going on in real life?
Big as that.
That you can recite Energy Crisis.
I listened to it over and over again. I had it on a 45, and it was the funniest record I had ever heard in my life. I didn't even know any of the songs on it, and they're iconic songs. But that's how I learned half of that music.
First of all, you couldn't even put out a record like this today because you couldn't get the copyright.
Yeah, you'd be slammed by the rights.
You'd be talking about rights. You wouldn't be able to profit from it because he's just using too many songs. And I remember this was on the radio. I remember being over like people's houses and pool parties and people loving this shit. And I must have been like 11 years old. Yeah. And like, I don't get it. I didn't get it. Why do people find this funny? Let's play a little bit of it. This is Energy Crisis.
74.
74, yeah.
See?
We are here at the White House for a special report on the energy crisis. Mr. President, have you any statement? Mr. President, what really caused the energy crisis? Smoking in the boys' room. During the crisis, how much gas will motorists be allowed?
Just enough.
Who do you believe the gas shortage?
How much gas be allowed? Just enough for the city? They couldn't pick something else?
I've heard this.
Worked for me.
You like it, Dave?
Well, like you said, as an 11-year-old, I thought it was the funniest thing I ever heard, or whatever age we were.
My mother had this. I remember this.
Your mom had this record?
Yeah, I remember this. As soon as it dropped, I was like, "Oh shit!"
People love this.
And then, of course, remember the ending. I did the ending for you. He runs out of energy.
Go up to like the last minute of the song, if you can. Adam is good, isn't he? All right, here we go.
Mr. President, have you any added comment? Mr. President, the American people are waiting. Have you a statement? I'm on top of the world looking down on creation. We'd like to continue this record on the energy crisis,
but we have just run out of energy.
I remember that so well.
That is incredible.
I listened to it over and over and over again.
Do you know what happened to Dickie Goodman?
You might have told me the other day. I think he committed suicide.
Right.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I had heard it, but then you reminded me.
Yeah. I can't believe that people found it, but this was so beyond popular.
Well, here's what's weird is that, so he did the 74, 75 was Mr. Jaws. And then I think he had another one maybe, but he made a comeback in 82 with an ET one that people seemed to like. And then it was definitely over. Then he had an album.
Oh yeah. He kept trying to put these out, but I mean, how much of this can you listen to?
Well, again, if you're 10, you can listen to it nonstop and all. I mean, if this was the first one that came out, so if I was 10 at the time when he put out an album, I would have probably listened to all of them for a year because it's perfect for a 10-year-old.
And the thing is, like, nobody had done anything like this before.
Right.
But this was groundbreaking
And
for the time.
again, that's how I knew all these songs. Like when I would hear them, I'm like, oh my God, that's from Mr. Jaws. Big boys don't cry. Big boys
Exactly.
don't cry. You know, all those ones they well,
NC
you know, just enough. I didn't know what that song was. And then when I went to, you know, I heard Stevie Wonder later or whatever, and I went to his concert and I'm like, hey, that's from Energy Crisis 74. It's like,
that's how we want those songs remembered.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's funny now that thinking about, all those rights and everything, you could never do it. Yeah, you're so wrong.
No.
But they used to play it on the radio. Like you said, they would play it on the radio, like on PLJ, where I mean, in New York.
Well, it wasn't even like FM radio, because FM radio in the 70s was considered like the cool music.
Yeah.
This was AM radio.
They played on like ABC, you mean, or something like that.
WABC. What was it? The WABC Good Guys?
No, that was WOR Good Guys. Or WMCA. Wait.
No, WMCA was talk. Larry King was on WMCA.
I thought those were the good guys, but
and it was
Harry Harrison, WABC.
Right. WABC was a big music station. 66 was a big music station. 50 said this is all New York stuff. So anyone who's listening out of town, this was like on your AM dial. This is when AM actually like was good, like back in the day. You listen to music, and FM was like PLJ and I don't know
WNEW.
Right, WNEW, and they played like hard rock.
Who's that guy with the hooky dookie? Scott Muni, that was his name. I hated that guy.
Yeah, he at the time he was like in his 70s, and he referred to himself as the Kid.
Yeah, I know.
I hated Scott
Loser.
Muni. Yeah, I was not a big Scott Muni fan either.
Me neither. Isn't that funny? And what about that guy that was also on that I think tried to got caught trying to molest some girls?
There was a guy like that.
I think his daughter went to our college. Dave.
Are you kidding?
No, good. It was a Jewish name, I think.
It wasn't Alan Kerr, was it?
No, Jim Kerr, but he's still around. He's amazingly still on Q104.3 as the morning man. He went on Howard Stern the other day celebrating his 50th anniversary in the business or more. And boy, does he have an interesting backstory. He started when he was only 18, or he started when he was 15. So when he was on like PLJ, he was like 18 or 19. That's why he's still around.
Oh, wow.
He's only like 70 something.
Do you know who's still on the air on WABC, like on the weekends?
On WABC?
WABC. On the weekends, they play music. Cousin Brucey.
No. Wait, on the weekends, they play music? On 77 WABC?
Yes, because when I'm usually going out to gigs, I'll throw on WABC because I just want to hear Cousin Brucey. Because
he died.
No, he still does the exact same shit. Hello, Cousin G. Cousin
G. I only said he died because like Howard Stern always talks about these people all the time, and he hasn't mentioned him, and I don't understand how he's not on that every day now because he loves making fun of
Howard guys. Stern isn't doing the same shit and talking about his mother. And
he is.
Right. Yeah, it's the same show.
That's what I'm saying. He loves talking about Cousin Brucey. He loves talking about. That's why when he had Jim Kerr on, this was only last year. He had him on while he was doing his morning show, and they combined, and it was really nice. And he apologized for the way he treated him over the years. And it was.
I wish I could remember. But you're right. There was a guy. I'm going to say about 4 years ago. There like a big scandal came on. Like I think he was a pedophile.
That's
wow! How did you pull that one out?
Because I think his daughter went to our college. So, yeah, just recently, I think he was caught like trying to, what do you call it, expedite a girl from, like he met her at the airport to try and have sex with a younger age girl or something. Like he was grooming her.
Do these names sound familiar to you?
Well, I know Cousin Brucey, again, because I used to listen to him, growing up. My mom was a big oldies fan, so I know Cousin.
Right, because he was on that WCBS FM for a long time.
Right. Long time.
You go around this town, around New York, Sean?
Yeah, I'm in Jersey. I've been in Jersey my whole life, so I got all the local references. But
yeah,
he is 89 years old, Cousin Brucey.
Oh, I don't know what I thought he was.
Hey, listen, Frank and Al is still doing it.
I can't believe that. I remember at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, though, they also have a little radio station set up in there. I think that was kind of like a replica, or if it was the original.
It's downstairs.
Yeah. I remember that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Cousin Bruce is still doing radio. All right. So this next one. Hey, Sean, are you familiar with the band Kiss?
Gee, I think I've heard of them, Jeff.
Okay. Well, Kiss used to have a guitar player in the band called Ace Frehley. Okay.
Wow.
And
Okay.
yeah, and Ace Frehley produced, wrote, and performed on this pile of shit that we're about to watch. Okay, he doesn't play guitar on it, but he plays drums and bass. And in the video, it is his band at the time performing at the club. Dave, do you remember a song called Eugene?
No.
Sean, do you remember Eugene?
No.
All right. So this was a guy, I don't know what they were going for. Maybe they were trying to capitalize on Taxi and accents, but it was a guy that would like you'd be singing and he'd interrupt you and go, my name is Eugene.
Maybe they were trying to capitalize on Cheech and Chong or something. That's what it sounds like.
You tell me. You would understand this better than I would. I don't know what they were going for, but somehow this did make it. Like this charted. This went up to like it was definitely top 40.
Well, does it say something about Ace Frehley on it? I mean, he was one of the most popular people at that time. If it's 76 or something.
No, there's no mention of him in the video. He's not in the video. You wouldn't have known unless you looked it up. But yeah, Ace Frehley produces it. Like if you would have listened to Casey Kasem, I guess this is 70s, early 80s. But if you would have listened, this song charted. This would have been in America's top 40. I think this went as high as 33. Eugene, I remember it for a split second. Adam, can you play this video?
And who was it released under?
Bill Barker's Ace Frehley's Archives. I don't know what label would put this out. This had to be.
No, I mean, like, how is it released? As Ace Frehley or as?
No, it's released as Crazy Joe and the Vandals. I think the group was called. Guy was definitely Crazy Joe. All right, Adam, let's play this.
My name is Eugene.
That's the joke.
I'm a cool dude in a loose mood.
You pause it here for a second, Adam. All right, oh, perfect. This girl here. She may have been who Ace Frehley was dating at the time, and I'm almost positive she was like in the backup band of his. She was considered really hot for the time.
Well, I think she's hot now.
She's good looking now, but like in the 70s or 80s, like this was like the behind the scenes chick. All right, go ahead, Adam.
Hey, what's happening? Hey, 2 ginger ales for my girls.
Who is this guy?
Eugene.
You pause it there for a second, Adam. What do you guys think of the hook?
I like it, actually. I was intrigued. It's much better than the Godzilla, the gorilla one. I wanted to see more of it. I'm intrigued as hell.
No, but I think it's like when he is not interjecting, I think the song, I think the background vocals are great.
Yeah, no, they are good. I was very surprised.
Yeah, and now I think it's coming back to me what I think they were going for. I think, do you remember Saturday Night Live did like Two Wild and Crazy Guys?
Right.
I think this is kind of like a takeoff on that.
Trying to turn it into a character.
Yeah, kind of like, little broken English, hey, how you doing?
I was thinking like Yakov Smirnoff or something like that.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
or like Balky from Perfect Strangers, where it's like just a little off. Yeah.
All right, Adam, play a little bit more of this. Dave is enjoying this. That guy's in Ace Frehley's band.
Oh, it's a Kiss machine. It's worth a lot of money.
Oh yeah, see the Kiss Machine.
Hey, I don't know if you care, but the doctor said, you know, I ain't gonna make it much longer. You know what I mean? You know.
Hey, what did you say your name was?
Eugene.
I don't. That's not Ace Frehley on bass, but he does play it on the record. But this is his band.
Hey, man, why don't you stop right
Do you like it, Sean? No, you see, that's funny.
I'm reading an article on it that is saying that Ace Frehley co-wrote Eugene, and it is hinted that the Eugene character is based on Gene Simmons.
Oh, burn. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is according to the article on thestranger.com.
Wow. That
Does it
adds
say
up.
what year it came out?
1980.
Oh, 1980.
So at this point, Gene and Ace and Peter are already kind of having bad feelings, right?
Yeah.
Because I Was Made for Loving You came out, and I don't. Did Peter Criss actually play on that album?
Are they all? I think they all were together. Then they did the solo albums, which Ace's was the best, of course.
Yeah.
With, Back in the New York Groove, and then I think they were together up in maybe 1980 when they started taking off their makeup. I think he had left the band already.
But there was
So
already
that would be Lick It Up, which would be
Yeah, I was like 84.
84.
Yeah.
Or could it have 84?
Well, he wasn't. Ace wasn't in Kiss at that point. He was probably gone by 81. I would say 82.
Right, because they had. I think they had the Kiss Unmasked album. Might have been the last. That was maybe 80, maybe 80. So maybe at this time he had left the band. That adds up.
But they kept him in the band, especially Peter, just so they can keep the original four and it would sell. Okay,
Well, Gene
but
Simmons was really smart. He never let that. He knows how to make money, and he knew that the band. He wasn't an idiot. I mean, he is an idiot, but he's not a financial idiot. And he knew that keeping the band together was a cash cow.
Exactly.
And the genius about those guys is that, they were bigger than anybody could be, let alone they really had good songs. But then they unmasked and they were equally as big. They had 3 or 4 albums unmasked, and then they were able to mask again. And then, go to hey, we're going to put on the makeup again and go out and do tours, making a fortune each time.
Ace left in 1982, in June of 82, and actually wound up officially leaving in December of 82, right when they were starting
So the bad feelings must have been going on for a while.
Yeah.
And it was on the Creatures of a Night tour. That's when Vinnie Vincent took over.
Yeah.
Okay. So, right. But what they used to do is they would have Peter go in and then just they would just re-record his parts. And I think the drummer was Anton Fig, who played in Letterman's house band, who was a great session musician at the, still, I don't know if he's still alive, but I remember at that time, he played on everyone's record. But I think there was all these bad feelings, so it would make sense that Ace would throw some shade at Gene Simmons.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of bad feelings there. I mean, there's bad feelings between Gene and Paul, and yet they stayed together until just recently. But they every band has that, right? I mean, Bon Jovi, and I'm just as an example, they tried to stay together as long as they could because they knew that they could make a lot more money that way. But yeah, they all fall apart eventually. It's very rare. Hall and Oates hate each other now.
Oh, yeah. They'll never get back together.
Now, if you think about it, go back to the video with Eugene. If you think about what Gene looked like in 1980, that hairdo is probably pretty spot on if you think about it.
Yeah, it makes sense. As soon as you said it, it made sense.
I don't know. I like the music in the song. I really
Me
do.
too.
It's different. It's kind of like you can almost hear it in the background of like a really bad video game too.
It's a good hook, like you said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ain't bad.
I got better things to do.
the singers are good.
Yeah. I don't
Eugene
know if
Carter,
those were the actual singers, but whoever they were good.
I believe they are. It's just like the jokes of the song. Like, hey, why don't we go out, do something fun, like go out for pizza?
Pizza, it's weird.
Where's the joke?
Yeah, well, they weren't known for being hilarious.
All right. Last one. I don't know if you guys ever saw this. Are you guys familiar with the band Player?
No.
All right. Player had a huge hit, monster hit, called Baby Come Back.
Okay.
Not the Baby Come Back.
That's it. No, that's it. Now,
I
this
was
is
wrong, and you just right. Okay, so that's them.
Love that song. Yes. Now, this is a novelty hit, but did you ever see their appearance on General Hospital, Dave?
No, and I was watching it back then. If you're talking about the 1980s with Rick Springfield and Luke and Laura.
I don't know if this is 80s. This may be a little bit later than that. But they were on General Hospital, and some like Bobby is still in it, and Scott. Remember Scotty?
Yeah.
They're in it as well.
Bobby just died last year.
Yes, she was beautiful, wasn't she?
Yeah, Jackie Zeman.
Jackie Zeman. Wow, very good. Jackie Zeman, yes, and I think there may be some spinoff of a Cassadine in this one. If you know General Hospital, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You guys want to like make a cup of tea or something? You bunch of fucking hens. What the fuck is this? Jesus Christ! It's about General Hospital in the 80s.
He's too young.
No, I watched it as a kid with my grandmother, but gee, I just admitted it, I guess. God damn it. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're so much cooler than us, Sean, aren't you? You know exactly. You getting every reference. Stop it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did. I blew my own cover. Continue.
Okay. So I want you guys to say, this is a little bit of a buildup, but it is totally worth it. Also, just look at how horrendous the acting is and the reactions to this. Good. And you got to like ask yourself, Player had to be at their lowest to do this. All right. Adam, play Player on General Hospital.
Oh, I wonder. Wait. Stop this for a second. Is this the 50th anniversary where they also had Jack Wagner come back and sing? Is this
that? I don't. Why did he come back on the show?
Yeah, well, just for the 50th anniversary, which was only about 7 years ago.
This is much longer.
Because I saw this.
You've seen this one.
Yeah, because I think I think that's why everybody's in it. They're all sitting at the table. It was like a big anniversary show, and they brought everybody back. And I think Jack Wagner sang.
Well, there's a storyline going on because you're going to notice like the very obvious looks that are being tossed around the room.
But I want to say it's much later, more recent than.
I'm going to say this is easily 10, 15 years ago. Easily.
Well, I'm going to say we have to figure out when the 50th anniversary was, and then we would know. Because that's what I think.
On May 12th, 2014.
2014. So 10 years ago. 11.
Okay.
Oh, we were right. But it's that 50th anniversary.
They made a surprise appearance on General Hospital as a guest for the annual Nurses Ball segment.
Oh, this is it then. This is it. Yeah, Jack Wagner. Who else was in that same time period? I think Demi Moore. Rick Springfield. Yeah, Jack Wagner and Rick Springfield were on at the same time.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
And
you played again.
And Demi Moore was on the show,
I just
too.
wanted to make sure because I think I've seen this and I probably didn't know it was Player or whatever.
Okay, play it. Play a little bit, Adam.
Pause it a second. I'm really glad now that this is all out in the open that Dave admitted that he watches because he watches General Hospital, and I'm glad that he didn't catch us and go, I remember seeing this. Yeah, that pink dress. Yeah.
Well, this part is a little disturbing, but I assume it's going somewhere.
I like that. What's the reactions? Go ahead, Adam. Keep playing this. Play it.
Horrible actors.
What's going on?
Emma and Cameron, I'm sorry to interrupt your dance.
This little cock
You
blocker.
two were fantastic. But
Is that Mario Bosco?
This song is for you. Ladies and gentlemen, put
Is that Mario Bosco?
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm not General Hospital. Where's Artie?
Showing your best lives as we've been doing this. Dave, who is that main guy, that guy with the gray hair they keep showing?
Ian, shit, I can't think of his name. He actually, I think he played the original Hannibal Lecter in Manhunter.
No.
Yeah,
That guy?
I think so. Maybe not.
He was big on General Hospital.
Yeah, he was big. He was in a couple other things. He was in Alias and stuff. His name's Ian something or other. I can't think of his last name.
Oh, wow.
I
Dave,
thought
what do you
picture him as the original Hannibal Lecter, but maybe you're right. Probably
Dave, what
not
do you
him.
teach? What subjects?
Well, I usually teach film, but this semester I'm doing the end of network television, so I'm teaching all about old
This is all
network
making
television.
sense. This is all making sense. Okay.
I continue. We haven't even gotten to player yet.
I know.
Okay.
presenting player.
Well, hold on one second. Hold on one second. We missed the line. And he goes, you were both bold and beautiful. And when he says that, that is also kind of like a nod. You see the guy over in the white shirt playing the bass by the keyboards?
Yeah.
That guy is also a soap opera actor besides being a player. And he was in The Bold and the Beautiful.
Okay.
That's where that line is.
We didn't watch that trash, but continue.
And wait, hold on a second. And the other guy, the lead singer, that's Peter Becker. And he wrote this song. Okay, because this one came out in the late 70s, and this was like,
77.
Okay, yeah. So when he wrote this song, this was actually a true story where he was a musician, he's on the road, and he comes home and his girl is gone. But don't they also? I think the drummer, you'll see a close up of him. I believe to this day, because I've seen him, he is the drummer in REO's Speedwagon. Yeah, who nobody knows. And the other guitar player, it looks like, this guy should be like in, I don't know, Duran Duran or maybe Bon Jovi. Like, he should not be in this band.
This is a clear situation that the lead singer is the original member of the band, and the keyboard player has been on since the third record, and then that's about it.
Well, Peter Becker and the guy from Bold and Beautiful are both original members of the band. All right,
okay.
Adam, a little bit, baby, come back.
How? Did you help him?
You messed up our tango. I regret that, but I had to do something bold and beautiful to try to make up with you. You did this all for me? Yes, I did. Come on, Emma, let's go. I want to hear the rest of the song.
Spending all my nights, all my money going out on the town. Doing anything just to get you off of my mind. And when the morning comes, I'm right back where it started again. And trying to forget you is just a waste of time. Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see there was something.
Lucy Coe. There's Scotty.
Look how old Scotty got.
That's Lucy.
You can blame it all on me. I was wrong, and I just can't live without you.
Dave, in General Hospital, Luke's last name was what?
Say again. I can't. When I was playing it.
In General Hospital, what was Luke's last name?
I don't know.
Anyway, Jackie Zeman was supposed to be his sister.
Yeah.
And Scotty was like when he came on the show, he was a young, good-looking guy, and he was the bad boy, though.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Well, he became the bad boy when he got, jilted by Laura after Luke raped Laura.
This was daytime television.
I know, right?
Remember he raped her to that song. That's why I think about it all the time. What?
Think of Laura.
No, that came in later. Oh God, when it plays, I'm like, oh my God, the song's to be raped to.
And there was a rape song?
That's the way I think of it now, because when he raped her, which you could, that's the part everybody forgets. That's how they met. He actually raped her at his club.
That's how I met my wife.
I just can't remember the name of the song.
Yeah, well, in the 80s and 90s, a lot was let go. A lot was swept underneath
Exactly.
the rug.
That's why if you think about when I tell my students about Saturday Night Fever, when they've seen it, they're like, "What the fuck?" Because they're like, there's a big rape scene, and the way they treat women obviously is pretty bad. And the fact that movie was so popular with kids is hilarious now.
And the thing is, Tony and his friends were considered like heroes. Like people wanted to be them.
I know.
And they were raped.
Awful
old
people,
Juskow in the back of the car.
And David Bowie. I heard he's half a fag. No, he likes men and boys.
I'm going to tell you a little bit more play, and then we'll wrap this up.
I think I found the song, the Luke and Laura song.
Okay.
Herb Albert, Rise.
Yeah, na 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 na.
Can you play a little bit of it out?
Yeah, let me see if I can get that.
And if that's a song, we go over Sean's house.
Where'd you download this? Music to Rape 2, Volume 4?
Yeah. Now I totally remember it. Thank you.
Wait, they played Herb Albert's Rise while he...
Yeah, uh-huh.
That song does.
And that's when he raped her. And then they fell in love. She fell under his spell.
After he raped her?
Yeah. Yeah, and then they fell in love.
I remember that being a big part of the show, but I just don't remember it.
Nobody remembers the rape. It's hilarious. We've just put it away because we loved them so much. We forgot how they met. Isn't that funny?
Do you remember like the big? It's very funny. Do you remember the big thing was like they got married?
Their wedding was probably the biggest thing on TV.
That was the greatest thing in daytime television. That's why you and I are here talking about it today. That wedding was everything. That's when guys like us started watching.
Is this show still on TV?
It is the only soap opera left. On regular daytime television. Everything else went to streaming. It's the only one left. I think 2:00 on every day on Channel 7 or ABC.
Yeah,
what time is it on?
I take my mom to go see like all the social events for the General Hospital that they do like this.
Yeah, I took my sister to see one at Governor's.
Yeah, like one of those, the comedy clubs do them on 12:30 on Sundays. Where
you got to see it, right? So Sean, you know what? That crowd is rabid.
It's worse than Chippendales.
Yeah,
it's like these. They're all 70-year-old women who are ready to rip out their dentures and just fucking go to town. So unbelievable.
James at Governor's told me that a lot of the women come in early to eat because they don't want the stars to see them eating. Like it's like that serious. So when I bought my sister this is only a couple years ago. I went to Governor's to take her to see these two, whoever the fuck they are in the show. And we walk in and I'm like, and we were a little late. And I go, what is there a comic on beforehand? Because I just heard the biggest laughs I've ever heard in my life. And I'm walking in and it's just these two idiots talking. I don't know what they're saying, but the crowd's going crazy, and Sean has seen it, so he understands. But Jeff, I'm trying to explain to you. And then all of a sudden, my sister still watches. So she's laughing, and I'm like, what are you laughing at? It sounded like they could have been talking another language. But that crowd was nuts. Like he's saying, it's worse than Chippendales. And it was the most fucked up thing I've ever seen. And that guy probably thinks he's the greatest stand-up comic ever. He's like, man, we came to the Lincoln Tunnel and you don't know which way you're going. And the people are dying. So I bet you he would say, I should go to the Comedy Cellar, and then he'll find out really hard, but I mean, you couldn't blame him for trying if he did, because there's no way you don't think you're the greatest storyteller or comedian ever after you've seen what we saw.
If this guy had a little bit of a following, a little bit of a heat, right? He's a soap opera guy, and he goes up to the cellar. Does the cellar crowd give him anything? Do they give him at least the first 4 minutes?
No,
he's a nobody.
Yeah, he's a nobody. I mean, unless somebody like my sister or whoever was at these things happens to be in the audience that day. But like Sean was saying, you have to be at least 60 to who watches soap operas anymore? Nobody. They just tried a new one on one of the networks. They're trying to bring it back, and we'll see.
Have you ever seen anyone, a celebrity, go up at the cellar and just like think they were a comic, but just like eat it?
Well, no, it depends on who it is. Like somebody like John Mayer goes up and they love it because he can't bomb. They just love seeing him live, even though. And then it's funny because all the comics think it's awesome that he's there. And of course, he's really cool and he plays it. This is before he was with the Dead and everything. And I remember talking to Attell and I go, well, how is he? He goes, he's funny. And I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't be saying that if he wasn't the coolest guy, like, I mean, he's badass cool, even though he makes those kind of gayest songs, he's cool. And of course, we also all knew the girls he slept with. So that made him even cooler. So they're just saying, yeah, he's funny. But there's people like that go up all the time, and they will get the benefit of the doubt because people kind of get it, I guess. It's just if you keep bringing it back. I remember Chappelle brought his son on stage once, and Attell said it was horrible, and it's like, why? He's like, yeah, we just came off my helicopter, and I told that pilot, you better be waiting for us. It was something like not a relatable story like that no normal person could do. It was really funny.
I would love to see Will Smith's kids try stand-up.
I would not. I don't want to see him or his whole fucking family as in Godfather 2. Fuck him.
All right. Let's wrap up a little bit. Let's watch a little bit more play, and just watch when they cut to the soap opera act. Just the acting.
That's my favorite part. That's all I'm in for.
Thank you.
Lucy Coe. That's what I'm saying. I remember her. She was so cute and pretty, and now she's an old hag.
Yeah,
but so is Scott. And the girl from Staying Alive is in there too. Did you see her?
Only you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has too much gum. Not enough teeth. Like Sean is a guy who likes Disturbed and Megadeth. But yeah, he'll listen to this.
I love that shit.
Yeah, it sounds good though.
It's good stuff.
In that Doobie Brothers episode, only because I've watched it recently, they sing 4 songs. And the kids were like, I like that they sang 4 songs. I mean, they were surprised, but they seemed to like it. It was the weirdest thing.
What songs did they do?
They did You Don't Know Me, But I'm Your Brother.
Taking It to the Streets.
Taking It to the Streets. And I don't remember the other ones.
Did they do Long Train Running?
I don't remember.
They had to do Black Water, I would imagine.
I don't think they did.
Wow, those weren't that big as hits.
They did 4. They had one and one was like going with the Chinese gong and stuff like that, and they're all sitting there going like this, yeah, Yeah, we're really into it. It was really, really weird. I don't remember what they're playing when they first walk in, but I remember Michael McDonald singing the it's not What a Fool Believes. That's later. That's the album after. So I can't remember.
I'm trying to Google the songs real quick, but it's not giving me any help here.
But he was, Michael McDonald was already part of the band.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes him better too. I think somebody big left. I thought maybe Tom McDonald may have left, and then
somebody got sick, with a cancer, and he had to come in and single-handedly save the band from. But nobody would have remembered them. It's
not
amazing,
right?
Who?
Oh, Tom Johnson. I'm thinking Tom Johnson,
right? But
right.
So they did Blackwater and Taken It to the Streets, as well as Take Me in Your Arms and the instrumental outro of I Cheat the Hangman.
Oh, the instrumental one, that's where everybody's going like this. Like they're really into it. Like these 13-year-olds are really into it or whatever. Like D.
Blackwater was a big, big hit for them.
Yeah, I guess it was Blackwater. I guess that's why I forgot about it, because I hate that song. I like just the Michael McDonald stuff.
The Michael McDonald stuff is great. Anyway, man, this hour flew by.
Yeah.
Dave, man, thank you so much for coming on. Tell us what's going on with you and where people can find you.
I don't know. I'm on Instagram. I have a show on Tuesday nights through the Comedy Cellar at 6, called Comedy Cellar Tuesdays with Dave Juskow. Otherwise, my podcast is called Juskow in the City. That's about
Are you still doing the Billy Joel podcast, or is that over?
Well, it was called Billy Joel A to Z, and we got to Zanzibar, and then it was over.
Okay. We'll go back and check out some back catalog stuff on that. That's pretty good stuff.
Yes.
Go through every Billy Joel song. And Sean Morton is going to be headlining with the Brokerage coming up.
Yeah, Governor's on Thursday. But by the time this comes out, I'll be back at Governor's headline. I don't know. Yeah. So we got I'll tell you what, we're about 6 in the can. I got some headline dates in July coming up. How about that? Catch a Rising Star. We should have this out by then.
When are you in I'm going to Catch a Rising Star in May. Are you there?
In July 12th and 13th, I think.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to Who's Your Band. Please continue to like, subscribe, comment. Suggestions for stuff we'll be taking. Once again, Dave, thanks so much for coming on. Thanks
for having me.
It's always a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will catch you next time.
Okay.
Bye, Adam.
Bye.